More details emerge on the Greg Biffle comeback. Corey LaJoie is getting a documentary, and Busch Beer is sponsoring women. All that and more coming up next. What's going on, everybody? If I haven't earned your subscription, hopefully today is the day I will earn that subscription. All right, Busch Light Beer has an initiative called the Accelerate Her program, in which it will sponsor female drivers. This article from John Newby at The Heavy. Busch Beer has just launched a massive initiative that will support women drivers 21 and over across multiple series. The longtime NASCAR partner will use critical funds to provide growth opportunities through the Busch Light Accelerate Her program. The inaugural Busch race team features several names across multiple series. The list includes Jennifer Jo Cobb of the Truck Series, Brittany Zamora of the ARCA Menard Series, Tony Bredinger of the ARCA Menard Series, Natalie Decker of the Xfinity Series, Trans Am Pro Champion, and Amber Baclian of the ARCA Menard Series, Steffner Moyer of the ARCA Menards Series East, and Melissa Fifield of the Wheeling Modified Tour. So that is a pretty cool initiative. I would leave Natalie Recker off of that particular list, especially when you got people like Kaylee Bryson and Gracie Trotter out there, but maybe they're not 21 yet. I don't know. I'm just not a big Natalie Decker fan. I don't think she's got what it takes to be good at that level. But anyway, that's my opinion. The other interesting thing is this is Busch Light. Busch Light, of course, sponsors Kevin Harvick, and we know Kevin Harvick is closer to the end than the beginning. And if they have an initiative to sponsor women, it begs the question: is that another possible sign that Haley Deegan is lining up to eventually? Obviously, she'll have to run some Xfinity and continue to build on her talent and her brand, but is she going to be the person who actually replaces Kevin Harvick? Me and my buddies were talking about that, and we think that's just as good a theory to throw out there as anything. So let me know what you think about that down in the comments down below. Spice things up with the first story today. All right, I reported earlier that there were rumors that Greg Biffle would be driving the 44 car for New York Racing in the Daytona 500. Those rumors are true, and it was confirmed with this nice-looking paint scheme. He will be sponsored by the historically black colleges and universities. This particular scheme will feature Grambling. I like the tiger stripes on it. Looks pretty good. But the other interesting thing here is this is basically going to be run out of RCR's shop, and he said they're running it with a Hendrick motor, but as far as I know, the Hendrick RCR alliance, they're building the exact same motor, so that really wouldn't, be a big deal, I wouldn't imagine, because they should be running the same engine, and obviously it worked for them last year, 19 wins. So, but it is interesting that they specified that it was a Hendrick engine going into basically an RCR car. So that's interesting, but the New York racing team looks like that's going to be good equipment. Looks like it's basically going to be an RCR house car. So Greg Biffle, even though he doesn't have a guaranteed spot, has a really good chance of getting into the Daytona 500. Fox News Media will be making a documentary called The Road to Daytona, and it will feature Spire Motorsports drivers Landon Cassil and Corey LaJoie. So that will be a really interesting thing to watch. It is good to see drivers are now getting documentaries. Hopefully one of these documentaries will catch on like The Drive to Survive did for Netflix, which sort of boosted F1 into the mainstream conscience. But I think it's really interesting that they picked Spire. I think that is a really good pick because it's not a new team, but this is the first year that Spire has looked to be actually competitive in Cup. With the switch to the new car, they will have the best opportunity they've had to be sort of relevant in Cup, and I think they've got two good drivers in Landon Cassil and really Corey LaJoie. I'm really big on Corey LaJoie, so hopefully if they give these guys some equipment, this documentary can be really good. It's Daytona, of course, anything can happen, so it'll be cool to watch, and Corey LaJoie has a good personality, so I think the documentary itself should be fun. Arrowhead Brass, they make plumbing fixtures. They are sponsoring a new award in the Xfinity and the Truck Series. It is basically for the driver who improves the most positions in the race. And this will not only be a race-to-race deal, they will track this throughout the entire season to see who gained the most positions overall throughout the season. So I think this is a really, really cool award. This is one award that, some of these awards are sort of chintzy, but this is one award I think you would actually really, really want to have, unless you're just one of those guys who intentionally qualifies bad, but I don't think anybody is going to do that at this level. So I think this is a really cool award and one that I might keep track of throughout the season because I think it's a good idea. And I remember back in the day, there used to be a halfway in the race award, whoever led the most laps award. So it's cool to see stuff like this being brought back, and I hope they keep up with it actually on TV this year as well, because I think things like this are really cool to sort of keep up with throughout the course of a race. And finally, Drew Dollar will join Trevor Bayne in driving that 18 next season for JGR in the Xfinity Series. Drew Dollar will race it for several races himself, so we know 2 people in the 18 so far, and that will be Drew Dollar and Trevor Bayne. So that'll be fun to watch in the Xfinity Series. All right, guys, that is all I've got for you today. If you like the content, please feel free to subscribe down below. If you got a comment, leave it down in the comment section. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.